What's up guys, this is Yasin, and yesterday I managed to get first place at the Card Brawlers Justice Hunters Case Tournament with K9 Crystron, as you can clearly see. This was my exact deck list. I will be going over the details very soon. And yeah, it was a really nice event. I mean, the format felt so much better than the last one where, we had a bunch of Raziel and Malice. Now I didn't play against any of them, and I played against a huge amount of the new decks. As a matter of fact, I only played against like 3 old decks in the whole tournament, and I had 9 rounds in total. And just in case you're wondering, I went 8-1. So there were 6 Swiss rounds as well as, top cut, top 8. Yeah, went 5-1 in Swiss and then 1 out in top 8. And the deck performed amazingly well. I mean, I always believed in K9 Crystron since day 1. I think the deck is extremely good in the right hands, and I think this is like the format for this deck. It really just feels absolutely goated, and honestly, it was just such a blast getting to play this deck at, my favorite local. So again, huge massive shout outs to Card Brawlers. Please check them out. This is how I get my cards. If you're interested in singles or, Justice Hunters, please check out Card Brawlers. The link to their website will be at the very top of the description box below. And with that being said, let's get right into this magnificent deck profile as well as my matchups. So first things first, on round 1, I played against Fire King. I won that one 2-0, and then I played against Blue Eyes on round 2, and that was actually my first and only loss of the tournament. And I swear on my life, maybe this is just me being unlucky as a person and getting all of my losses the same way. I have Ash, and then I'm like, okay, this is actually a very good card against Blue Eyes. My opponent's first action is Wishes, Pitch, True Light. I'll Ash it there, that's pretty good. And then I get Called by the Grave, and I have no other hand traps in my hand, but my hand is pretty good. So I'm like, all right, sure, it's not the end of the world. It's not like I bricked and I have to like simplify the game state. But then he also sets 2 back row, which is, that's a little unfortunate for me. There's also another unknown card in hand. I draw for turn, it's a Fua, which is completely useless. Normal summon Tristalos. I get hit by Solemn Judgment, which is like horrendous. Yeah, after that, I just managed to win 7 in a row. So round 3, I won 2-1 against K9 Crystron. I didn't play the game 2 perfectly because my opponent used Nash Knight to steal my Valon, the Super Psychic Skyblaster, whatever. They changed the name. And when the Valon fell off from the Nash Knight, because I outed the Nash Knight, I completely forgot to trigger Valon to destroy the Joe Cool that I made face down the turn before. My opponent just randomly started his turn with like more cards on the field and more cards in hand, and I just basically gave like a free +1 to my opponent, which is stupid. I should have used Valon to destroy the face down monster because it can also destroy the face down monsters. I just forgot. I know that it does that. I just completely forgot. Me forgetting this cost me game 2, but then I won game 3 anyways. And then Mermail, I won round 4, even though I won the dice roll and I lost game 1. That was really rough on me. I forgot like the exact situation. Maybe I bricked, or maybe I don't think I full comboed, because yeah, if it was full combo I probably would have won. Whatever. And then round 5, K9 Vanquish Soul, I won that one 2-0. I lost the dice roll and I opened 0 hand traps, but fortunately his hand was like a very like half Vanquish Soul board, so it was easy to break. And then round 6 was K9 Crystron, which I also won. And then moving on to top 8, I played against K9 Vanquish Soul. I won the dice roll. I lost game 1, just drawing a completely abysmal hand. It was like Lantern with X-Force Liberation, Cluster, Fua, and Ash going first. I'm like, bro, what is this? I can't play at all. I lost that game and I won both times after that. And then top 4 was against a YCS champion, so shoutouts to Mario. I won that one 2-0. Clockwork Knight is pretty good because he was playing Yummy. And then the finals was against Yummy Fiendsmith, which of course Clockwork Knight just works overtime against that deck. It's good against Yummy and it's good against Fiendsmith, so yeah, I'll take it any day of the week. But yeah, I'm gonna go over the deck list real quick, even though everything should make sense. So I'm on 3 Ash, of course, because it's really good against the Chummies, but also Holy Sue and Izuna. 3 Fua, which was like very unfortunate for me. I just had like a overall really bad experience with this because I drew it going first way more often than going second. There were a lot of games where I drew like 2 copies of this going first, and I was like, whoa, I'm really playing from behind. Like, yeah, sure, I can use it going first, so if my opponent actually makes the rank 5, I can draw like 1 or 2 cards, but it wasn't really coming up too much because you would draw this going first against like a deck that wasn't doing that or didn't draw those hand traps. 3 Imperm, it was like one of the better hand traps that I could have played for sure. And then 3 Forbidden Droplet, this card was like super insane. And 3 Zuna, which I wasn't actually resolving going second too often. Every single time I resolved this on turn 0, I won. And yeah, Forbidden Droplet, of course. I mean, that's like one of the MVPs of the deck. It allows you to win unwinnable games. And then yeah, 3 Chaotic Elements, which didn't really come up against Raziel because I didn't play against Raziel. Called by the Grave, I don't really think I only drew this once against Blue Eyes, and the 2 hand traps that I ate were Imperm and Impulse. Sorry, Impurge. That was insanely painful. But my opponent also had Veiler, but he didn't have to use it because he already had like everything else. So, and yeah, everything else I think makes sense. You really gotta play the Thizvern. X-First Liberation has to be main deck. And then, yeah, 1 Case, 1 Lantern. Yeah, everything else makes sense. So, and also 3 Solfador, because Solfador and Joku is just completely filthy. It is ridiculously unfair. For the extra deck, I was on 2 Skeletus. The second one came up multiple times. The 2 Dragsters, the second one actually never came up. So, honestly, I think that's like #1 replacement that I would do. The main deck, I think, was perfect for me. I wouldn't change anything, except maybe the Fua. I might delegate to the side and potentially look into replacing it with Dark Ruler no more. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, Dragster, like the second one, you just don't need. Maybe you should play like a Typhon instead. And then, yeah, Zeus was insane for me. I won so many unwinnable games because I had like a 4-material Zeus. You know, using Infinite Track Reverse Stormer to run over a monster, absorb it underneath. And then, yeah, my Zeus is just broken there. And it's also a great play under Droll when you don't really... Because this deck doesn't really have a lot of removal when you think about it. So yeah, Zeus allows you to win, like, some games that you, like, on paper should not be winning. It's actually goated. Paradise Smasher also allowed me to win a bunch of games that I felt like I had no business winning. Sometimes you get hit by Lancia and you're like, okay, I can't do my Crystron plays, but I can actually do a degenerate K9 play, and it's protected from Nibiru and Imperm because, you know, it can't be... I mean, not if your opponent has both, because you're just going to Imperm the Yazuna, sorry, the Ripper, and then Nibiru after that, but you get what I'm trying to say. The Werewolf never came up. I don't believe so, because when I was making my full boards, my opponents kept scooping. But I mean, just the threat of being able to summon the Werewolf is enough. Ripper, of course, that card was insane. Valon, really good. Vimana, Infinite Track Reverse Stormer, Infinity Nova, SP, Clockwork Knight. I even made like a Cyber Dragon Nova using a non-machine monster. I used Lupus and a level 5 because I had Clockwork Knight, so it was treated as a machine. It's really cool. One thing that I will say is that I was not on the Nash Knight package just because it takes up way too many extra deck space. So like you can cut the second Dragster as well as the Vimana so that you can play Nash Knight and 1 monster, but that defeats the purpose. You might as well just not do that and yeah, just have like more real options instead of like 1 card that takes up like 3 extra deck slots, because for Nash Knight to be like truly broken, you need like 3, I mean, you need 2 other number monsters for it. If it's only 1, that's not enough, because sometimes you gotta use Nash Knight on your own very first turn, and then you gotta use it again on the opponent's turn. Like you get hit by like a Izuna, Ripper, whatever, sorry, Izuna or let's say Holy Sue on turn 1, you gotta absorb it, and then you want to have like an interruption on your opponent's turn. You don't want to just have nothing at all, you know? I cited 1 Regulus, which I never tried to search, so this was completely irrelevant. I don't know if I would do it again, honestly. It just doesn't really feel like it made too much sense. But the Clockwork Knight was broken for me, and Rivalry was unfair. I drew it twice, and I won immediately. Like, no back and forth at all. Just I flip the card on standby, the game ends. Like, it doesn't matter what you have. You can have infinite Dark Rulers, the Dark Ruler, Droplet, like the best hand ever. It doesn't matter. This card is actually Exodia. And Judgment, I actually never drew a single time, which I find to be kind of poetic, considering I drew Rivalry twice, but Judgment 0 times. But yeah, I would not play a card like Judgment. I think it makes no sense, because if you brick, Judgment doesn't make you win. So you need cards that are like actually really, really unfair. So I would do something that would be like both a starter and a floodgate, and I think the best card for that is Foolish Barrel Goods. So the way I want to do things moving forward is I want to replace the 3 Judgment with 3 Foolish Barrel Goods, and then replace the Regulus with a copy of Black Goat Laughs. That way, I still have the Clockwork Knight and Rivalry package in case I draw Rivalry, and I'm citing Clockwork Knight anyways for the Foolish Barrel Goods. And if my hand is already good, I Foolish Goods to send the Black Goat Laughs, and then I call Black Goat Laughs when my opponent summons like Izuna, whatever, or the Holy Sue, and then those cards do nothing. So it's like a starter, an extender, because I can also send like an Inclusion to revive back a monster, or like, you know, Clockwork Knight to search like the Scrapper Cycler after some of my plays get interrupted. But it's also a Floodgate, and it's a card that can protect you from hand traps. So Foolish Barrel Goods is definitely a better card than Solemn Judgment. Even though, again, I never drew this card, so I can't really give you too much feedback on it. 3 Droll and Logbird, this card was like pretty hit or miss, but I feel like this is how the card is anyways. It's rarely ever like broken. I mean, when it is broken, it's unfair, but most of the time it feels like garbage. So you have to cite it in against like super specific matchup. For example, I would draw like a Vanquish Soul deck, and it would still have like 5+ disruptions, easy, just because the deck is that good. It's not like a true turn skip, but it's good enough to make them like not do ultra degenerate things, and that's what I do like and appreciate about Droll and Logbird. So it still allows you to win some games that you feel like no other hand trap would have been able to do like a better job at. So I still think it's a great card to have in your side deck, but I wouldn't main deck the card. Definitely not, because it's terrible against Yumi, it's terrible against Malice. it's just not worth being in your main deck. And then obviously 3 Artifact Lancia, which I only sided in against K9 Crystron, and I mean, I drew it once, and it wasn't necessary. Like, I could have not drawn it, and I would have won. And finally, 3 Dark Ruler, which, yeah, I mean, Dark Ruler is very, very good, and I think I won. Might have only resolved this, like, once or twice, but yeah, very high win rate when you resolve a card like this. It feels absolutely broken. Yeah, that's it for my deck profile. Again, I'm really happy and grateful that I managed to win the case tournament. The reward was absolutely broken, so yeah, obviously can't complain there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about K9 Crystron in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.